YouTube, welcome back to another episode of Walk and Talk. Here we are, week 2 at Sucre. Chef Brenda's here and she promised to teach me how to make croissants. I've been salivating all week long. I'm ready to get into the kitchen.
YouTube, let's do this.
Rapid fire this week, guys, is not questions. The question is going to be, what can Chef Brenda produce with these beautiful spices from Don Pablo? Brenda, are you ready to get in the kitchen and do a rapid fire challenge?
Bring it on.
Of course, this guy shows up for the food.
You know how I get down.
Yeah, I think you made Don Pablo extremely proud. So, Chef, what did you put together?
So what I made is a passion fruit habanero chocolate custard tart. And actually the chocolate custard has the organic coffee, peppercorn, and red pepper seasoning. And what I did is infuse that into my chocolate custard. And then on top, to tone down the habanero and then the spices that I used, I put a mascarpone mousse and fresh passion fruit. So there you go.
This is what I call rapid fire, because this is rapidly going to disappear into my stomach.
Come to Tampa, Sucre Table, bring it on. Wow, Chef Brenda, you're awesome.
Thank you.
While you're at it, guys, down below, WIT, 20% off. You know what's going on. Get to DonPabloCoffee.com, order some coffee, and you can make some great things like this. All right, let's get into the kitchen. Brenda's got some stuff. We kicked Carl back behind the camera because, you know.
Distracting us.
What are you teaching me?
Yes, so we're gonna go back and we're gonna sheet out the croissant dough that we made and we're gonna start shaping it. We're gonna make, like I said earlier, our regular croissants, which is like the, you know,
Traditional croissant.
Traditional croissant, a chocolate croissant, and also how I make my croissant muffins.
Got it. Let's get into the kitchen. As promised, Chef has let me into the kitchen and the show is yours.
All right,
So what do we got?
I'm gonna teach you how to do the lock-in process, the folding process, and how to shape my croissant muffin.
Okay.
What I call my regular croissant, and also our chocolate croissant. But this I've had proofing for at least 8 hours. Sometimes I let it sit for 24 hours. It's still a pretty dense dough. We use fresh yeast, so all those bubbles are everything that kind of, you know, fermented and all of that. So this has rested for 8 hours.
All right.
I like to put it on my sheeter, press it down, and I like to make it as big as my butter block. That's gonna
So
be,
this is butter that's been...
Oh yeah, this is butter that, obviously you can get these already made into butter blocks.
Okay.
They're more expensive, but I like to use Pelugra for my croissants. So I just grab my butter and I make my own butter block.
Got it. And so what we're trying to do is fold that butter into the dough.
Yes.
Which is what makes a croissant rise and it gives it all that buttery, beautiful goodness.
Which is what we call the lock-in process.
Okay.
There's many different ways to do, but I like to do it the envelope way. So I have to make sure that I make my dough just maybe like 2 to 3 inches bigger than my actual butter block. You'll see why.
Got it.
So I press my dough down, I make sure it's a square. I start with my sheeter all the way to like the
highest setting.
Yes,
Yep.
the highest setting, because I don't want my dough to get stuck. I don't want to rip my dough, and that's an issue.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna go in, and we're gonna go in smaller increments down, so that's what it's flattening it.
Got it.
I'm gonna do this process, and then when I flip it over to extend the other side, it's gonna be you. And do not try to make the
don't shoot it too far.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
If you want to go this way, you're gonna have to press this button.
Okay.
If you want to go that way, you're gonna have to press this button. And if you see that it's about to fly, you have to press it.
Okay, so I'm gonna turn this on and let it go. And when I see it, turn this one.
Yes.
Okay.
I like to stop
Okay. Are you sure? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait, here.
I'm gonna try.
But you're missing one.
I forgot to turn it. I don't know what I'm doing in a pastry shop. All right, so I'm going down to
15.
15?
Yeah.
All right. Oh.
All right, we're gonna rotate it.
Rotate it. And down to 12?
Yes.
Okay. Oh.
That's why we're here.
See, this is why I don't work in the pastry shop.
Now we're gonna bring it over to this side. Do you see the texture of my croissant dough?
Okay, it's pretty firm.
Yeah. Mine's a little, I like working with a little bit of a tighter dough because when I let it proof, I let it proof for a decent amount of time in there, so it relaxes it. One big secret to croissants so that you don't rip your dough or mess it up. Your butter needs to be kind of what we call like a leathery stage, like when you temper chocolate.
Sure.
And that stage is literally
So that it's pliable,
Yes.
but still firm.
so that when you're putting it in through your sheeter, you're not breaking your butter or anything like that.
So it's almost like, you know, when you take an ice cube and you crush it, you don't want to crush it all up.
Yeah.
You want it to be soft enough where it actually just kind of folds into the dough.
Yes. So
Got it.
then, like these are the corners, but I'm gonna put the corners in the middle of each one.
Okay.
I'm gonna extend, bring it to the middle.
It's like an envelope.
Yep, extend, bring it to the middle. Pull, bring it to the middle. This is the most important part. I wanna make sure that I'm sealing it so that when I start sheeting it, the butter doesn't come out.
Got it.
So I seal it. Very important. These two are on top of these, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to put those two facing that extremity and this an extremity, I can't say it correctly, of me. Because if it goes in the sheeter like this lip could possibly get caught. and open it
Okay,
up.
I follow you.
All right.
That's crazy.
So I do, see, no butter coming out. I extend the corners, make sure it's a square, and I like doing book folds. Book folds.
Okay.
Some people do a four fold. I don't like it because I feel it just creates way too many layers.
Got it.
And I like the honeycomb inside of my croissant to be bigger rather than tighter. I don't like the bready texture. You'll
I gotcha.
see when we cut into
Nice and
one.
airy.
Yep. So I go like this. Go like this.
And see, for you guys out there who don't understand the world of pastries and croissants, this is not something that you just learn overnight. There's so many years of experience going into this. It's unbelievable.
Yes. And we're gonna leave it in the freezer for 30 minutes.
Perfect. And with the magic of television, you guys will see what it's like in just a little bit. All right, so enough time has passed. We have done how many folds? Because I can't keep count.
3 folds already.
Got it.
And we're gonna do the last fold so you guys see what the texture is of this dough now.
Okay.
And then 30 more minutes of rest in the freezer because you always want to work with this dough cold, but not too cold that your butter is firm, because then what happens is
cracks.
it breaks and you don't want it to do that. So you have to be able to know your freezer, it may be 15 minutes.
It just
may be
depends
20
on
minutes.
the temperature of
Yes.
the freezer to make sure you know.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of testing that goes into this
Yes.
as well.
So with this recipe, I had a recipe in New York that I developed, and that recipe I had to alter it, and it took me 3 weeks to alter to the humidity here in Tampa, and to be able to understand how my fridges work. I don't have a walk-in, I have a
Double door
reach-in,
free, yeah.
so there's a lot of humidity in those.
Sure.
So I have to be able to control and not allow this dough to proof while it's also relaxing. There's seams. What I call, this is the book fold seam.
Okay.
It looks like a book. That I always want facing that way, and then the other side facing me. Why? Because when I'm going from left to right, this is gonna create an even dough.
Got it.
If I go this way, it's kind of
It's
wonky.
all gonna shoot out, yeah.
Exactly. It's kind of wonky because I have like the excess and all of that. So we're gonna go like this. We're gonna go 30 again. Everything's very repetitive, but you have to pay attention even more so now because you really do not want to rip through your dough. If you rip through your dough, you messed
just
up a
waste
layer.
it all the time.
So this is what the layers look like. And with this last fold, there's gonna be even more of these layers because even though it's the last fold, I have to sheet it one more time for us to be able to shape it.
Okay.
We let it chill for 30 more minutes
Okay.
before we put it back in the freezer.
Oh, that's gonna taste so good in my stomach, guys. You have no idea. So back in the freezer with you,
Back
my
in the
beautiful
freezer.
324 layer dough. All right, chef.
All right, so now this has rested from our final 4th fold.
Okay.
And
Our 328 layers.
yes. And now I'm gonna have the book side actually going into, just kind of cut it for that area.
All right.
So I go back to 30.
I don't know. You blow my mind. Pastry chefs are unbelievable people.
You see how smooth it is? So I grabbed a recipe that I had learned from school, but I didn't like it. I felt it needed just a little bit more flavor. So I added my secret to it, which isn't much of a secret, but I'm still not gonna share it. But it's also part of the leavening process of my croissant. What you do is you grab like this, and then you pull. What that does is it extends it so that when it starts to proof, it will not like be a fat croissant. So after that, you roll it.
Did I pass?
Almost.
Okay.
You want your croissant every step to be the correct way.
Oh, I see. You got to
So
be
you wanna
exact all
tuck
the way
it,
through.
yeah.
Okay.
Here I have hot hands, so that's why it's melting. Like that.
All right, so now chocolate croissants, chef.
All right, so we have our rectangle.
Okay.
This one you don't need a pull. But we're gonna use chocolate batons. They're specifically made for chocolate croissants. I
Okay.
like to use double
Okay.
because I
so
don't
two.
want to be,
You don't want to be cheap on the chocolate.
no, it's not cheap, but So you're gonna roll it once, push it 3/4 of the way, and at this point you're gonna grab one more. You're gonna tuck it under here. You're gonna roll and push down a little bit.
He's gonna roll it once.
Stop. Tuck one
more.
under there.
Now does it matter
No,
flat
no.
side down? It doesn't matter. Okay. And one more.
Yeah, keep on going.
What I did. Willie turned on the sheeter.
Sorry.
And next week you're going to teach me how to fill those bad boys
Yep.
because they look a little something like that at the end of the day, right?
They do.
So
They
now
do.
we proof, bake, and enjoy a nice croissant.
Yes.
All right, chef. So out of the proof box,
Yeah.
we've got all this here. Tell me what we got next.
Now we have to egg wash.
Egg wash.
That's what makes it shiny.
I like that.
I like that as well. I like to use, instead of milk for my egg wash, I like using heavy cream because I think it gives it like a thicker shell and it's
Sure.
much shinier.
Okay.
And always add a pinch of salt. Always.
Give it that little extra flavor.
Yep. I don't like to egg wash these because this is where our layering is. And I don't want to mess that up.
And we want to see it.
Yes. I push them down so I make sure that you get that like that cupcake shape.
Sure.
And then they go in the oven.
Well, guys, stay tuned next week. If you want to see them come out of the oven, we break open some croissants, we have a cup of coffee, and we finish up here at Sucre. Chef, thanks for having us again this week. It's been amazing. I actually learned something.
Yay!
Thank you. Join us again next week, guys.
Bye.